Let's talk about this new Huda Beauty Pretty Grunge palette. I went ahead and did swatches for it last week and I was very excited about it. I really like this beautiful color palette. I mean, this is very, very gorgeous. However, I have spent the last week trying to make looks with it and I am having some issues. In case you were thinking about getting it, I have opinions. So let's get into the swatches and then we'll talk more about my issues with this.
Okay, let's dig into this. Here's the packaging, absolutely beautiful. And look at this color story. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to get my fingers into this. Let's go ahead and start with the first swatch. This one's called Liberty. Oh, nice, smooth swatch. I love mattes that are like this. Okay, next one is Heroin. This one was a little dry at first, but it actually swatched pretty well. I don't know how much I'm gonna use that color though. Next one, Avant-Garde. Beautiful, kind of very, very light shimmer, a little bit creamier. Renegade. This is the matte black. Okay, this one doesn't swatch that well, but I did find, especially if you put it over Grunge, the cream shadow, it's a really nice dark black. Next, Brave. You know, her mattes on this are really nice. They swatch great. They're not patchy, just beautiful colors. Another one, Beauty Chaos. Same thing. These are beautiful, warm purples that I can definitely use. Rise Up. Same kind of story, only this one is more of a nice, really neutral, usable tan. This is great for the crease. Next one, Stand Up. This is a really pretty, I wish it was a little bit more shiny than it is, but it's a really nice kind of cream shimmer. Next one, Strong AF. This is a beautiful shimmer. It's not, again, as shimmery as I would like, but if you're looking for subtle shimmers, gorgeous color. Okay, back to the mattes. This one is Nirvana. Same thing, good, creamy, lots of color payoff, gorgeous. Next one, Haphazard. Back to those shimmers that are beautiful but subtle. This one has a slight duochrome to it. I wish there was a little more payoff on the eyes though. Fearless, another good matte. Really, really like the mattes in this, in case you couldn't tell. Okay, next one is Hope. Typical brown. Again, this one doesn't swatch quite as well, but it looks great. It performs like the other ones. Next one, Love Anarchy. This is a really good crease shade for me. It's light enough that it really looks like a great shadow, and look how creamy it looks when you build it up. All right, Maverick. This is one of my favorites. This is a great, really, really silver shimmer that really is great in the corner of the eye. And this is one of the most popular or unpopular ones. This is Rebel. It is a chunky, soft, creamy, Tin Man-esque cream kind of glitter. It is gorgeous. I absolutely love it, but it's hard to control. Another matte. This one's Freedom. I also use this color quite a bit if I want the cooler kind of purple. And then this last one, Grunge. This is that cream shadow that I actually really like. I was not sure how I was going to use it. It does stain, so be careful with it. And I really, really like this one as a liner. So here they all are. Great color story. Definitely works on very fair skin tones. I really, really like this. We will get into why I have some issues with it though, because it's not the color story that I have an issue with. All right, here's two of the looks that I created with it, kind of first round. I really love this sort of purple look. The darker look on my right side, well, your right side, my left side, yeah. That darker look, I used Grunge all over the lid, and then I worked on top of that to put things on it. It did make it a little bit patchy in the crease, but I have very old very creasy eyelids. They are starting to get hooded. Some of that creasing is just my anatomy, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. I did use the P. Louise eyeshadow base, and this is the best I could do with it. So let's get into my issues with this.
Issue number one, I'm going to show you me putting this on. As you can see, the colors go on nice and smooth. It's not real patchy. No complaints when you first put it on. It's a very soft formula. There is, however, a ton of fallout, and with such dark colors, kind of an issue. So you can see that the more I try to mix the colors and add, sort of dimensional look, the more muddy it gets. So unfortunately, one of the things that I really don't like about this palette is that it really muddies up, and it gets worse as it wears on your eye. It's like with your eye movement, everything sort of travels together. There's no excuse for this. I have been using P. Louise as my base. I mean, it's one of the best eyeshadow primers that you can have. I don't usually have this problem with other shadows. So really, really disappointing. I don't know what to say because I love the color story and I really, really want to like this palette, but I cannot get a look on my eyes that I really like, honestly, and that stays nice. It's got these bright, like sunset oranges mixed with a purple and then a darker purple. They should all sort of stay where you put them, and they should, nicely blend together on the edges, but not all become one muddy mess. And that's kind of what happens. And unfortunately, all the looks that you end up doing sort of start looking the same. Now, I will fully admit that I am not an eyeshadow or makeup expert. I would say I am intermediate level, maybe a little bit higher than that. I'm an artist. I'm used to working with these kind of materials. I know color theory. I do know what I'm doing. I'm definitely not novice. I've seen some people who are experts, who are makeup artists. They make beautiful looks with this palette. If you are not at that level, I think you're going to end up with a bit of a boring look or a muddy mess. The second big problem that I had with it, part of why I bought this, is I really want those beautiful shimmers. And there are absolutely beautiful shimmers in this. This Rebelle, I mean, this chunky, beautiful, just soft, super shimmery. It's gorgeous. Fallout everywhere. And the weirdest thing with all of these shimmers is when you put them in the middle of your eye on top of other shades, which is most likely how most people are going to use it and how a lot of people are using it, they quickly disappear. You can see me putting this on and it's just not, the payout is not there, and I'm using my finger. So I shouldn't, for $69, I should not have to go get my NYX glitter glue in order to get the shimmer like I did here. So this is my second Huda Beauty palette, and I think I'm gonna keep giving her a chance. These are beautiful. They swatch really, really well. But this is the second one that I have tried that I just don't really care for the formula. On the eyes, I don't find it to be much better than some of these palettes. What this immediately reminded me of is the Milani palettes. This one has very similar purples, and there's like, a million different purples in this, warm to cool, and that's kind of what you have in this little palette. These don't cost $69, and the formula is really good. What else? Also reminds me of this Sigma palette. This is the hazy one. These have beautiful shimmers in them, all the different warm and cool purples. This would be another option. What else? You see where I'm going with this. Even, so like this Lorac palette. very similar. This one's not cheap, but very similar, but better formula, I think. The shimmers are more shimmery, and there's a little more, you get more warms in there, so you have more mid-tones that you can use, and they put in some light tones. That's the other problem with this. I know it is supposed to be a grungy palette, but for me, being as fair as I am, the lightest color is that like buttery, yellowy sort of orange. And I can put that all over my eye, but as you can see, that's not a base color for me unless I'm going for a very warm look. I really like to have that base kind of creamy color. Another one that reminds me of it, this one is also not cheap, but similar color story. This one doesn't have as many of the shimmers in it. This is the Violet Voss Top Notch, and it has a lot of the same sort of purples, but it also adds in some of the browns, and then it does have that lighter base color that I like to have. And they do have shimmers that are, they're more muted, but you know, I don't have anything that is exactly the same as this color palette. So I will give her that. I don't know if anybody else has found something that's exactly like this. This is a nice, it's like warm peachy plus purple. That is very beautiful. I have no problems with the color palette. This is why I bought it. I was very excited about it. I just can't get it to look good on my eyes. And that's a problem for $69. So if you're a better makeup artist than me, I definitely think that you would like this, but I'm really struggling to recommend this one, unfortunately. The other thing is, obviously, and I knew this, it's a very dark color palette. So somebody who's very, very fair like me, everything may go a little dark and muddy on me. And so maybe that's more the problem, but I don't think so. So what I would say, I really like this Rebelle. That is very pretty. I'm going to continue to use that on other looks with other palettes, most likely. And I actually really do like this cream shadow, the black cream shadow. This is called Grunge. And this actually is really nice to work with as a liner. It is not heavy duty black, but it's really good as a nice subtle black, and it's great at getting other things to stick to it. So, this really good dark matte black, you can just go over it and you can make a pretty nice wing with that. So I actually really like that. My concern is that there is no protection for this, so I'm thinking it's going to dry out in a month or two and it's going to become unusable, but I don't know for sure, so I guess we'll see. Overall, what do I think? I wasn't really happy with any of the looks that I got out of this. I'm not happy with this look. This is something I could have gotten from my Milani palette and been just fine with. It ended up overdone every single time, and I have really been playing with this for about a week, and I just can't make it work for me. So I know a lot of people like this one. I feel bad that I don't because I love the colors and I wish it would work for me, but I really think that you probably already have these colors in other palettes. The formula is not the formula is muddy, at least on me, and it does, as I'm wearing it, it's like it just goes away. You would think that these, as vibrant and beautiful as they look in the pan, and even when you first put them on, that they would stay that way, and they don't. It is the weirdest thing. They just sort of disappear on my eyes. So yeah, I can't recommend this one. I guess I'll keep trying with Huda Beauty, but it's not my favorite. It's not. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Feels a little weird to be the only person I have heard saying what I'm saying. So I'm super curious. Have any of you guys who have actually bought this, have you had the same experience or is it just me? Go ahead and leave any questions or comments below because I am super curious. Do me a favor, if you like this kind of content and you're not already subscribed, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe. It really helps my channel to grow and I really appreciate you guys being here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day and I hope that this was helpful. definitely leave me comments below and let me know what you think about this one, because I'm a little bit torn. I wanted to like it so much and then I didn't, so bummer. All right, well, I will see you guys in the next video.